If a cactus on land stores water, what does a cactus underwater do? Let us delve into one of the so-called cacti of the sea.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh!
Halimeda macroloba. Halimeda macroloba belongs to the empire Eukaryota, kingdom Plantae, subkingdom Virida Plantae, and in the phylum Chlorophyta. It is under the class Ulvophyceae and order Bryopsidales, and it is under the family Halimedaceae. This species is commonly known as the Kwyn seaweed, and sometimes it is also known as the erect sea cactus. The first strong phylogenetic data for the genus Halimeda is provided by cladistic analysis of 18S DNA sequences. They identified principal lineages corresponding to the three major taxonomic sections, Rhipsalis, Opuntia, and Halimeda. These lineages provide the major axis of a protophylogeny and represent an apparent differentiation of the genus into at least three basic thallus designs. The most complex of the phylogenetic trees presented also indicates a geographic separation of Rhipsalian species into Atlantic and Pacific clades. Halimeda species typically produce segmented plants that are attached by a holdfast, which can be attached to rock or coral or buried in sediment. Its general morphology includes an erect thalli, a bright green color when fresh or cream or greenish when dried. It is also moderately calcified with a bulbous holdfast. Halimeda species are typically sand dwellers. They are usually found in lagoon-like environments and usually in close association with seagrasses and other large macroalgae. Now, what does this species bring to the table? First of all, it has an extensive habitat range, up to 150 meters deep. It produces extensive biohermal accumulations and obtains nutrients directly from the sediment. It is also not utilized commercially, although researchers have shown that it is a source of growth regulators, such as auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, and also possesses antibacterial and antifungal properties. It is very important in the sequestration of carbon from the atmosphere. Additionally, it is not edible to most herbivores as calcium carbonate is deposited in its tissues. Furthermore, bundles of the aragonite crystals from the Halimeda plants are an abundant source for the fine-grained sediments on many coral reefs. Coral reefs are known for their diversity and striking beauty. These organisms build the reef structure and provide habitat, shelter, and food for a number of other reef inhabitants. However, the algae are also incredibly important to reef ecology and productivity. When they reproduce sexually, one cell gives rise to many gametes and dies in the process, leaving behind small calcified white discs that eventually break down into very soft, bright white sand. They are responsible for making up to 90% of the sand. Furthermore, Halimeda species have been shown to produce massive carbonate deposits in deeper water sites. Thus, this species is very important in sediment production and a contribution to carbon sequestration. In all members of the order Siphonalis, the thallus is formed from branching filaments which have few septa, making the plant xenocytic. In Halimeda species, the thallus has central filaments arranged in an eggshell orientation, giving rise to radial filaments in the cortex. The cortical radial filaments branch extensively and fuse at the apices of branches to form a closed surface. Beneath this closed surface, there is a free space between the filaments, known as the interutricular space. Large numbers of aragonite crystals are found in the said interutricular space, which can be seen in Figure C. Chloroplasts occur mainly in the outer cortical filaments adjacent to the interutricular spaces. The xenocytic morphology renders the plant potentially vulnerable to damage and grazing, and plants in this Halimeda species possess very rapid wound responses and produce feeding deterrent chemicals. That is all for this presentation. Thank you.